check this out. I could really hurt you. Let me tell you. What I'm talking about? No. No. So, ¿por qué tú dices ella, mi?
Mira,
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Por qué tú estás rabada? Mi amiga. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
Okay, you ready?
Tú estás rabada, mi amiga. Mi amiga con mi país.
Hey Glam Crew. So as you saw in that little clip, yep, that was me in that little situation. So this video, I'm gonna tell y'all how I got scammed in the DR. Don't let this happen to you. And thankfully that black man that y'all saw arguing in the video, it's a New York guy, and like he turned out really cool and was helping the situation, y'all. So stay tuned for the details, continue to watch, and I'm going to tell you guys 3 things to look out for when you're traveling, especially solo traveling, and for my ladies and just in general, like watch for these 3 things. I was in Punta Cana, and this is what happened to me. So let's get into it. Number 1, y'all, watch out when you're using the Uber app. Yes, it is safe, okay, and it's very, very cheap. This is not my first time in Dominican Republic, not my first time using Uber out of the country, and I've never ever had this problem until now. So I ordered my Uber ride and I did the conversion. Make sure you have the conversion app, and it told me it came up to $31 US, okay, and I was going about an hour away to this mountain. Anyhow, we're gonna get into that in another video. Let's focus on these scams to look out for. Pretty much, I get in an Uber and the driver tells me that Uber does not go there and he can drive me for a different price. I said, okay, well, what's the different price? And he goes, I can take you, wait for you, and bring you back. So $130. And where I was going, I wasn't planning on being there long. Literally, I was going to see the views, take a couple pictures, and go on about my day. I was planning to be there maybe 30 minutes. And I was going early to avoid a crowd and any long lines. And yeah, so on Uber, I estimated, okay, about $35 there, $35 back, $70 to $80. Okay, cool. Plus the little admission fee to get in. From the reviews and online, I read that it was about $10. So I was like, okay, $80, $90, boom, going back and do Uber. I was going to book the same exact tour on Airbnb, which is my number 2 I'm gonna tell y'all about. On Airbnb, it had the tour for $89. It included lunch and also a visit to one of the beaches and transportation there and back for $89. So I estimated I could just take Uber there. I don't want to have lunch there, and I'll go to the beach on my own. I really don't want to be around a bunch of tourists, sharing a bus with a bunch of boring people, and you know, which is gonna be my number 3. I'm gonna tell you about them crazy tourist traps. I said I'll do it on my own, catch Uber there, back, whatever, pay $70 to $80. But this Uber gonna tell me he only take cash. Red flag, you only take cash. Why is that? And he went to charge me $130. Then he started translating. Now Uber does the translation for you automatically. He was translating on a different app, not Uber. So when you're translating in the Uber app, Uber can track your conversations for safety reasons, but this driver was not communicating on Uber like I saw a lot of other drivers doing when I was in the car with them. So I was like, nah. So I offered him, I said, I can give you $80. He said, no, 130. I said, well, I don't have enough cash for that. He said, don't worry, I'm gonna take you to the ATM. No, you're not going to take me to the ATM. And I got out the car. He tried to persuade me a little bit more. He sat right there in the car, and I'm like, okay, is he gonna go or what? So I went back inside the gate of my Airbnb because why is this Uber driver sitting here? Now, mind you, the day before, something similar kind of happened, and I really didn't catch on to it at first. So when I got in from the airport, I caught an Uber to a beach. I was ready to get my vacation started. I wasn't able to check into my Airbnb until like way later in the day, and I had arrived pretty early. So I was getting my day started. I already had my swimsuit on under my clothes. I was ready to go, y'all. I got Uber from the airport to the beach, right? And or no, I was gonna do buggy riding. I was gonna do like ATVs, dune buggies or something, and it was right on the beach. Okay, so I wanted to go to a location where I could do an excursion, go to the beach. It's restaurants nearby. I can eat, do all of that, then go to my Airbnb and check in. Right. So the Uber driver takes me to a different destination, which was still close, but not really where I needed to be. And he stopped the Uber and said he completed the ride, which I'm like, okay, I think we here, but I'm not sure. So I'm pulling up the address on my phone, and I'm like, nah, this ain't the right place that I need to be, but what's this? So somebody come over to the car and he start talking, right? I pull up the translation app on my phone to catch what they're saying, and then I translated it without them noticing that I'm listening to what they're saying, because my Spanish is not fluent, only a little bit. So pretty much he brought me to a different place, probably where he gets some type of discount or incentive for himself for bringing people there to do the tours versus going to other places, which I kind of don't mind. But tell me the reasoning why you're doing it. Does this place have a better option or whatever? So I'm like, okay, this isn't the one I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to a different little beach and do that. And he said, okay, I can take you there, but it's a little bit further out and it'll be a different price. I said, okay. So then I type in the address from where we at to right there. Boom. A 6-minute ride or $6 ride on Uber. And he said, I'll do it for $20. I just sat there quietly. Okay, $20. We get there. He parks and he walks with me. He continued and acted as if like he was my translator, my security, my personal driver. I don't need a personal driver. I don't need security, and I don't need a translator. You don't even speak English good enough to translate for me. You're pretty much using the app. And you all don't need that as a traveling in different countries, solo traveling, none of that. You really don't need it unless you want to do all of that, pay all the extra money, whatever. So then he's like, well, this tour is started at a different time. And I'm like, well, by that time, I need to check into my Airbnb. So we chilled out. I met some people along the beach, had a good time, whatever. So we get in the car. He's like, okay, it's time to go to the tour he was trying to do originally. I'm like, okay. And then we get there. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this. Can you take me to my Airbnb? And he said, yeah. I didn't ask him what price it was. He didn't say nothing about the price. I typed in my Uber app how much it would cost, and I followed directions on my own Google Maps. I have T-Mobile. T-Mobile works fine out there, right? So originally he told me $20 to get to the place, right? And it was a $6 ride on Uber. And then when we get to the place, you know, I got food. He stayed with me. I didn't ask him to. He didn't say I would stay with you or whatever. He just took it upon himself to do this. And then from the little ATV buggy riding place, it was only like 2 minutes away, right, from the beach. Really, I could have walked. And then from there to my Airbnb, and my Airbnb was maybe like a 15-minute drive. And on the Uber app from that beach to my Airbnb, that was like an $8 drive. So we had $6 from where he took me for the buggy, but that's not where I really wanted to be. So from where I wanted to be and needed to be, he was charging me $20, but it was really $6 ride on Uber. And then y'all get what I'm kind of trying to say. However, that altogether probably would have been less than $20 in Uber. All of that moving from place to place and then getting back to my Airbnb. But he wanted $20, and then he probably would have tried to charge me $20 more from out there to go to my Airbnb, right? I gave him $30 and got out the car. He said, this not enough, but it's okay, I'll take it. I know you'll take it. And I got out the car and kept it moving. And I didn't think about it until like the day where the driver completely refused my destination and said, I can't take you there, but I'll take you for a different price, and I only want to take cash. I only take cash. And he tried to charge me the $130. So yeah, them Ubers think they slick. And this is not all of the Uber drivers, y'all, because I got in plenty of Ubers over these last couple days, and I did not have this problem. Okay, so be mindful of that. If they acting weird or saying they only want cash, cancel that Uber and get out the car. And Uber did give me my money back because I explained to them what happened. No, they know what's going on. I don't know what it is exactly. And I didn't fully investigate if this is true with Uber, that they don't necessarily go to certain destinations that they put in there. But why would Uber even offer that they can take me from point A to point B for $31, but all of a sudden when I get in the car, it switches up and the drivers say, oh, Uber doesn't work out there. I don't know. Has that happened to y'all? Comment below. Let me know. Literally, I just got in. I will be getting back with y'all on that because I'm going to be calling Uber and trying to figure out because, Now, the number two scam through Airbnb, y'all. Now, up front, nothing was wrong with my actual stay, my house, my host, all of that was perfect. I'm talking about Airbnb experiences. I think tour guides and excursion companies and stuff, they use that as a way to lure people in and then charge you a different price or get your money and then cancel on you. Because I booked a whale watching tour. It included whale watching, visiting a waterfall, and also going to horseback riding to a waterfall, whale watching, and then going to a private island, Bacardi Island, and having a Dominican lunch, and all of that was included, plus your transportation from your hotel, Airbnb, to all of that, which was like a 2-hour drive. The price was $177 on Airbnb. I'm like, okay, just like with what I was trying to do the day before with this, to go to the mountain, and the dude wanted to charge me $130 versus the $89 on Airbnb. I was emailing some people prior to going to get different quotes for this whale watching tour, and I got 2 different companies write me back, and they were giving me prices well over $200, and that's why I decided to do Airbnb. Pretty much, I wake up for my tour and all that. Y'all will see that in my vlog coming in the future. But pretty much it was canceled on me, and you really have to fight and show proof with Airbnb to get your money back. And I think what it is, most people be like, oh, it's canceled, whatever. Initially Airbnb really doesn't want to give you your money back, so they just let it go. No, y'all, I'm not letting my $177 go. That's my gas and my electricity bill. I need that money. If I'm not going on this tour, I need my money back. So I showed them the proof, the screenshots, everything. And then the host, which I don't like, the Airbnb experience guy, he told me something, I'm going to communicate with you via WhatsApp in case you don't have service here. Nah, player, I got service, and we're going to continue to communicate on this app. I don't like that. No, we're going to keep communication on Uber, on Airbnb, where everything is translated already and there's no confusion, and they can track and see what's going on with the timestamps, okay? Because I need my money back. If you're not producing what you say you're producing, you're gonna give me my money back, or I'm gonna fight for my money. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So however, I eventually did get my money back with Airbnb, and I had to show proof and screenshots, call logs. The company tried to say that they were there to pick me up, and no one showed up. They waited for me, so they left. Now, out the window from my Airbnb apartment, I can see everybody coming in and out the gate, right? So I was standing there in the gate waiting, 6:40, 6:45 in the morning. Then when they called me, I said, okay, I'm coming downstairs. They acted as if they didn't understand English. Now, most people really don't understand English, but for the most part, especially if they're working in the tour industry, excursions, and working with people, they speak English. They know something, okay? He understood when I said, uno momento, por favor. That means 1 moment, please. And within a few minutes of me grabbing my bag, locking the door, going downstairs and out the gate, no one still pulled up in those 2-3 little minutes of me doing that. And I asked the security guard at the gate, like, did you see any cars or anybody here? And he like, no. They lied and tried to say that they were there to pick me up. And I had met another tour guide who I had became friends with, and he spoke really good English. I gave him the numbers that I had for this tour, And he contacted them, and they're like, oh yeah, we were there for her. She didn't show up. She wasn't answering the phone. What missed calls do I have on my phone from y'all? None. Okay, run me my money back. And I screenshotted that all to Airbnb. They did a little whatever. However, I got my money back. So thankful for that. Just be careful when you're paying for things ahead of time that at least you're paying through a trusted app or resource or website where you can at least show proof and try and get your money back. So the third little scam that I came across, which is like a pretty typical tourist trap, you know, where everybody is going to like the same thing per se, the same activity, excursion, and it just ends up being so many people, like groups and groups of people. I'm nosy, y'all. Come on. Groups and groups of people, right? And it's like you have no room for pictures, like the bus is overpacked and crowded and just too much. Yeah, so I kind of fell upon that, which I did this in place of my whale watching tour. So I didn't get to do the ATV and buggy riding the day before. So then I was like, I'll do it today, right? Y'all, that equipment was horrible and broke down. And I should have thought, like, why is this only $30? But then I said, okay, you know, that's, you know, a fair little price. You know, most places, Jamaica, my ATV riding, I think just for ATV riding, not including lunch, was $80. So I was like, okay, well, you know, let's see what it is. Check it out. The ride there was cool. It was me only on this big bus. Y'all seen the video on my Instagram. Me and the bus driver was dancing and whatnot. He dropped me off. But then I'm like, this equipment look real outdated. And then the smell of gasoline was so strong. And I'm like, ATVs don't need to smell like that. And then it wasn't even ATVs. It was like the doom buggies. But like the wheels literally had like no grip. They were wobbly. The way the engine sounded. I don't know. I'm not all that girly, y'all. I'm a little tomboyish. And I just knew like, I don't think so. But I was like, okay, let me give it a try. Literally, as soon as we pulled out the ranch, the boogie was breaking down. The people behind me, they was breaking down. Mine broke down like maybe 2 times. And they had to like restart it. You know, like when you start the lawnmower and ying. I was like, I want to ride the ATV. And that's what the tour guide people were riding on. I want the ATV. He said, okay, you do the ATV. So I did that. I was cool with the ATV. We was have fun. The first little stops was like a coffee tour, a cigar, something else. It was okay. Been there, done that. It was nice, okay? They try to sell you arts and whatnot. Then the next stop was a cave. And it was cool at first. It was only like me and maybe 5 other people. And we were there maybe like 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, here come a tour group. Here come another tour group. And it's like 10, 15 people in each of these groups. Next thing I know, the cave is just full of people. And I'm like, well, it was just too full. And I don't really know how to swim, but I was going to put on a life jacket and try to do a little something. But then when it just got too full, I said, no, I'm not even going to try. There's too many people around here. So I did not do that all the way. Then the next stop, so the tour guide was kind of like rushing us along. So I'm guessing each tour has like their own little time slot pretty much. And because our buggies kept breaking down and we kept having to stop along the way there, we didn't get like, let's say our 20-30 minute time in the cave before the next tour group and the next tour group showed up. Because literally we was there maybe 5 minutes and then boom, like packs and packs of people just started coming in. So then we went to the beach. That was cool. But then once again, 10 minutes on the beach chilling, vroom, here come groups and groups of the next tour. And I'm just like, sheesh. Like, you know, we necessarily wouldn't have got caught up in the tourist trap of all these groups of people. But because the equipment was raggedy, we just kept breaking down. I guess we missed our time slot. So in that instance, when we got back to the ranch, I wasn't even gonna do this. I was just sitting there like, when does bus come next? I'm ready to go. One of the girls that like did the waiver, and they made sure they did that waiver, verified your passport, where you were saying, making sure you signed it, because they knew the equipment was raggedy. So if something break down or something, you can't be like, oh, well, it was already broken or whatever. They be like, well, you signed this waiver, so da da da. So make sure when you signing them waivers, you reading, you ask questions and figure it out, right? Anyhow, when we got done, the girl that was like making sure everything was signed and paid for, she was like, you come here. And I'm looking at the other people in the group like, oh, come on. And she's like, no, just you. What'd I do? So she was like, you see that guy right there? I'm like, yeah. She like, that's my boss. This is his company. And I was like, oh, well, someone else told me it was their company. And she was like, well, you know, that's like the tour guide, but like that person directs you to this person who's like the actual owner of these buggies and the ranch and blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. I said okay. And she was like, he just wanted to know how your experience went and da da da. I'm like, oh, it went good, blah blah blah. But the equipment was messed up pretty much. But it was okay for a little $30. So she goes say something to him, and he was like, you want your money back? And I was like, yeah, you will give me my money back? Give me my money back. And he was like, okay. So he gave me my money back. I said, okay, that's fine. So he was like, sorry about everything breaking down or whatever, you know, we're working on getting equipment, da, da, da. And I'm like, you know, I appreciate it, you know, and actually I'm gonna put the money right back into what you got going on here. They had a little gift shop. I got a few little souvenirs, and they gave me a really decent little deal, I guess, for 2 t-shirts, a little bobblehead. Yeah, and I paid $20, and $10 I kept back to myself because it was $30. But he made up for it, I guess. And I don't know why I was called out to give him feedback of how the tour went. But, you know, if you want to speak up and give your honest opinion and feedback on how the tour went, how you feel and think about stuff. Maybe he know that he kind of has a crappy equipment company right now going on. He just wanted to try to make things right. Maybe because my buggy kept breaking down and I requested that they put me on the ATV and not keep having to deal with every 5-10 minutes the thing breaking down and whatnot. I don't know, but I was able to get my money back. And yeah, so that was that. So just be careful what you're signing for. Don't get scammed with no BS stuff. If you notice something is not right, ask for something else. It's your money. You don't have to be rude. That's another thing. Don't be rude. You can still be professional and speak up for yourself. And best believe they understand and they already noticed from the start. So be careful of those little 3 scams and you will have a good trip. I hope that you like this video, Glam Crew. Stay tuned because I got some vlogs coming out about my solo trip to Punta Cana. I'm going to give you guys a tour of my Airbnb, literally $42 a night. And my flight was super cheap, how I packed. Yeah, so stay tuned and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Boo!